Hey Star Warriors, Star Geek here, in the third episode of Star Wars Versus. With hundreds of Star Wars characters out there, how are we to decide who's the best, most amazing character in the galaxy? Under 5 simple categories, we can face 2 different characters against each other for the most important judgment of their creation. Weapon, courage, rank, skill, and legacy, all used to decide a winner. Today we compare ruthless Mandalorian, Jango Fett, against his bounty hunter son, Boba Fett. This is one of the most requested series on the channel, so I figured it's about time for another Versus episode. Let's kick this episode off with our first category, weapons. Boba Fett's iconic Mandalorian armor is known for its hidden gadgets, components, and concealed weaponry. He carries around an EE-3 carbine rifle, using his aim to scare off enemies. He always knows how to control his weapon of choice, but his father is also very skilled with the blaster. 2 WESTA-R34 blaster pistols to be exact. As great as Boba is, Jango is even better, sharpshooting and never missing his target. Jango's gadgets and hidden components simply trump those of his clone son. Jango utilizes all of his weapons to their extent. Grappling hooks, blasters, jetpacks, and flamethrowers. Jango is very decked out. As good as he is, Boba's easily sabotaged weaponry is no match for the blue bounty hunter. Point goes to Jango.
Well, we won't be seeing him again.
Which brings us into our next category, rank. Boba Fett is a highly regarded bounty hunter who can bag any bounty he is assigned. Everyone knows of this threatening criminal, which certainly raises his rank. But while Boba may be a well-regarded scum in the universe, Jango Fett is much more respected. Not only does Count Dooku display respect towards Jango, but he is also the one man who supplied the Kaminoans the DNA they needed to create a clone army. Everyone respects him, even Darth Tyrannus himself. His rank is just as big as his ego, getting Jango Fett another point.
I'm just a simple man trying to make my way in the universe.
Now let's look into the skill of our competitors. Jango Fett knows how to aim his blasters or fire his flamethrowers, but is he really that good? Sure, he can threaten Obi-Wan with his skills, but he tends to miss most of his shots on both of these Jedi Masters, as well as missing blasts when piloting the Slave One. Plus, he can't even do his own jobs. Instead of just coming up to Padme and killing her himself, he decided to hire Zam Wesell to try an assassination attempt using droids and poisonous centipede things to get the job done. Boba, on the other hand, is the most skillful man for the job. It's no coincidence that Boba was the only one who came close to capturing the Falcon. Even the horrific Star Wars Holiday Special showcases Boba's skills. He knows how to manipulate his victims, as well as his bosses, to get what he wants, controlling the events of getting Han to Jabba, and collecting rewards from both the Empire and the Hutt crime lord. Boba knows when to fire a warning shot. Jango Fett's lack of skill compared to his son, especially when facing off with Jedi Knights, earns Boba his first point.
You are free to use any methods necessary, but I want them alive. No disintegrations.
As you wish.
Legacy is an important part of any character, and that's why that's the next category. Jango Fett caught the eye of every Star Wars fan in 2002 by becoming the new Boba Fett. Everything people had loved about Boba was being revived in this new character. Unfortunately, that was the biggest problem. If it wasn't for Boba, Jango wouldn't have gotten very far. He didn't get a lot of time to shine on the big screen, making him semi-forgettable. Boba, on the other hand, is one of the most iconic and surprisingly popular Star Wars characters of all time. Anyone who only has 4 lines of dialogue and becomes an icon of one of the biggest film sagas of all time definitely has quite a legacy that no bounty hunter will be able to beat. Not to mention how he destroyed the odds by escaping the monstrous Sarlacc in the Pit of Carkoon, with no one else even coming close. This point goes to Boba Fett.
What if he doesn't survive? He's worth a lot to me.
The Empire will compensate you if he dies. Put him in.
In our final category, let's talk about courage. Jango Fett is definitely courageous, facing off against Jedi Master Mace Windu before meeting his demise. He is a no-nonsense kind of scum, risking everything to get his bounty. But once again, Jango's courage is nowhere near the same level as Boba's. He chases the riskiest bounties for a living, capturing an iconic smuggler, shooting at a very influential Jedi Knight, and constantly standing up to the most notorious villain in the galaxy. Darth Vader is simply someone that you don't talk back to, or else you may end up getting force choked to death. And considering that Vader was at his angriest point in Empire, killing off admirals left and right, Boba's risky confrontations with the Dark Lord of the Sith were extremely brave. Risking his life on multiple occasions, he acts like he has no fear, always up for any task. Boba beats out Jango, getting our favorite bounty hunter, the courage point he needed. Our mysterious bounty hunter, Boba Fett, wins in the 3rd episode of Star Wars Versus.
We'll meet again, friend.
Who do you want to see battle in the next episode of Star Wars Versus? Please put it in the comments to see if your pick ends up in the next episode. Subscribe to Star Geek for weekly Star Wars content. If you like the channel, please tell a friend. If you enjoyed the video, please shoot that like button at light speed. You can go check out my Facebook page, linked in the description. Also check out my Twitter account, @StarGeekYT, and find me on Instagram by the same handle. Click on the link to the left for my last video, a Star Wars Factor Beam on General Grievous. You can also click on the right to watch my last Versus episode, where I match C-3PO against R2-D2. Don't forget to like the video, and comment on your own suggestions below the video. Until we meet again in a galaxy far, far away, this has been Star Geek. Star Wars collecting is a very popular hobby, with collectors like Steve Sansweet, Duncan Jenkins, and Gus Lopez amassing gigantic collections beyond belief. Passionate fans collect a wide variety of things, such as posters, action figures, books, toys, drawings, autographs, Legos, miniatures, props, costumes, and even Pez dispensers. But most importantly, Boba heads and Jango ornaments. I hope you all enjoyed the episode. Until next time.